So when regulating mutual funds, we need to know about Mutual Fund Dealers Association. So MFDA does not regulate mutual funds, but they just monitor the distribution of the funds. That is mainly the sales activity, how mutual funds are provided to clients. That is their main objective. And one of the national instruments, 81101, that deals with the fund prospectus, what should be in the prospectus. And the 81102 and 105, they deal with the guidelines about distribution and advertisements for mutual funds, what companies can put in their advertisements, and sales communications. So if you have a new unit holder and they want the documents, they can obtain these documents, which are unaudited financial statements 60 days after submitted to the Securities Commission, statement of investment portfolio, changes in net assets, and portfolio transactions. By sales communication, we mean any description of fund characteristics, the comparison between funds, the objectives, and the index, any performance information, and advertising that it is a no-load fund. All these things are related to sales communication. So how are mutual funds controlled? So the fund facts is very important because you must give it to the client when you sell a mutual fund. It is a 2-3 page maximum document. So it is designed to give key information about the mutual fund in an easy to understand language. And so the fund facts, there are a lot of information. So before we go there, we should understand all the documents that we mentioned. There's fund facts, there's simplified prospectus, annual information form, there are unaudited statements, and there's other information. Regarding the fund facts, what is in there? Information about the fund, whether about its introduction, when did it start, quick facts about it, how much money is invested in it, what is the minimum you have to put into it, what is it invested in, top 10 holdings, what are the risks, what is the past performance, usually past 5-10 years performance, how suitable is it for different people, what are the risks for it, what is the impact of income taxes, what are the costs, what are the fees, the MER, and if there's a trading expense ratio, TER, what are the rights of the investors, and other information. So what is the cost of buying, owning, selling the fund, and the statement of rights, and some other information about the fund. So all this information should be in the fund facts. In the simplified prospectus, the company must file this with the Securities Commission on an annual basis, but it need not be updated unless there's a change in the affairs of the mutual fund. It consists of 2 parts. There's part A, it provides introduction about the mutual fund, general information about mutual funds, and information applicable to mutual funds managed by mutual fund organizations. So that is general information about mutual funds like we're discussing in this chapter that will be in it. Part B will be about the mutual funds which are issued by the company, information about that. So as far as the simplified prospectus system is concerned, the fund must provide its investors with financial statements if they request it. So what is in the annual information form? It is similar to that as well as the prospectus, but it also has all the financial information, significant holding in other issuers, tax status of the issuers, directors, officers, trustees of the fund, how much they are indebted, associated persons, interest of management, principal holders of securities, and particulars of any material contracts entered in by the issue. So what are the registration requirements? So in order to become a mutual fund rep, you must have either IFIC or CSC. And if you want to become a investment advisor must do CSC and CPH, Conduct Practices Handbook. So all mutual fund dealing reps are required to complete a training program within 90 days from the day that they first start acting as a dealing rep and must be closely supervised for 6 months. So when you pass the exam, then the sponsor notifies the candidate of the exam results, and the candidate files registration application on NRD. If they're filing for mutual fund, they can go right away. But if they are filing for an investment advisor, you have to do CPH also, Conduct Practices Handbook. And so the candidate has to fill out their information on NRD, which tells about past job, employment, their past, any financial bankruptcy, any other criminal issues, all that is entered into the NRD, and the appropriate fee is paid for the provincial or territorial Securities Commission. And there is also a renewal fee, and the registered dealing agent must also continue to do their continuing education also. And if the individual is not registered within 3 years of completing the exam, then you must redo the exam. The dealing rep and the dealer must notify the Securities Administration in writing within 5 business days, it's 10 days in Quebec, of any changes in specific information on the dealing rep's application, or if there's termination or any other reason within 5 business days. If the mutual fund rep works elsewhere for 6 months, within 6 months, they must provide notice in writing to Securities Administrator. If the period is greater than 6 months, then they have to reapply for registration. So if you work in another industry and you don't work in securities industry for a gap of more than 6 months, then you must reapply for registration. Someone transfers to another province or territory, a notice must be sent to the Securities Administrator by using the NRD database.